All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is day three of the conference, right? So only the valiant will remain. So I appreciate all of you being here. As I said during the welcome, when we opened this conference, was it 2 days ago, Tuesday, that this place, Star Park, is the bridge between the university and industry. And so it's really wonderful to be able to talk about research to an audience that is bridging university and industry. So I've been at the job, running the research division for a little over a year now. Both me and the new president, Kelly Damphus, started on the same day, July 1. And if you have not met Kelly, he's a tour de force. He has been working nonstop to transform this institution and take it to the next level. And research really under his leadership has skyrocketed even in 1 year. And, when I tell you the story of all the amazing things that are going on, this is just a very exciting time to be here at Texas State and in the state of Texas and right here in the heart of the innovation corridor between Austin and San Antonio, the Metroplex, I hear it's being called because we were at this Austin San Antonio Growth Summit yesterday. There may be gloom and doom and threats of recession everywhere, but not here. So this is wonderful. So I just wanted to give you a little storyboard of how research really has evolved at Texas State. The institution started off in 1899 as a normal school, a teaching, a place to teach teachers. And it has, for a long time been a predominantly teaching school. But some phenomenal growth has occurred in the last 20 years, and particularly in the last 10 years and the last 3 years. So starting out, we were classified as an emerging research university in 2012. And that means that we are able to get some funding from the state to expand our research enterprise. So almost 10 years ago. About the same time, about 10 years ago, is when Star Park started, based on a legislative appropriation. So this building that you see here is about 10 years old. And our research expenditures at that time were less than $40 million. So when I say research expenditures, that means the dollars that we expend on research that are funded by the federal government, the state government, and private industry, and also institutional investment that is made to help the research enterprise. So that's where we were. In 2012. Fast forward to 2023, we are approaching almost $142 million in research expenditures. An enormous growth in research expenditures this year, about 75% from the feds, 15% from the state, and about 10% from private industry. And we're really trying to grow that private industry pie out here because it's very important for other measures, which I will talk about. So we are known as by the Carnegie Foundation that classifies universities as a doctoral university with high research activity. What we want to become by 2027, that's the goal Kelly Damphus, our president, has set for us, is a doctoral university with very high research activity. These are called the Tier 1 universities, about 140 universities in the country at the top tier. That's where we want to be. Our research expenditures already put us there. If you look at Tier 1 universities in the state of Texas and in the country, $50 to $60 million get you there. We're almost approaching 3 times that. So our faculty research activity is truly extraordinary. We have recruited some very smart faculty. We have provided startups that are comparable to other state universities in the country. Jesus, I know, is recruiting some amazing people in the engineering program this year. So all this is a testament to the growth of our research. What we haven't done at Texas State in the last 10 years and 20 years is expand the number of PhD programs. So right now, the institution only has 12, 13, 12, 12 PhD programs right now, which is very small for an institution our size of almost 40,000 students, right? And so, if you look at the University of North Texas, for example, it's almost like 45 PhD programs. So we haven't invested in expanding the PhD programs, but Kelly wants to change that very quickly. Jesus talked about adding 3 new PhD programs in engineering. But overall in the university, we are trying to double the number of PhD programs. So we are adding 11 new PhD programs. They are in front of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board that has to bless everything that we do. So, we have made some huge investments. The existing 11 PhD programs, 12 PhD programs that we have, President Danfus invested $12 million in increasing the number of PhD students enrolled in these programs. We give them a full scholarship and a full tuition waiver so that they go to college and grad school for free, which is, and a pretty competitive funding there. So he invested $12 million of the university's funding there. In addition, we need to increase the number of postdoctoral researchers that are out here. I think, when they last reported it to the Carnegie Foundation, it was, less than 25 postdocs. But I'm hoping that across the university, we'll be getting to 150 to 200 postdocs in the next few years. And there's a jump start of investment of 50 postdocs by the president, giving us $6 million to do that. So almost $20 million he has invested in the last year in increasing the personnel aspect of the research enterprise, which is our PhD students and our postdocs. In addition, and $20 million to recruit faculty, to provide course releases so that they can concentrate on research instead of teaching, and creating an entire new cadre of instructional faculty that focus only on teaching and are master teachers. So becoming like a typical research university with very high research activity. So that's really what we have been doing. So where are our current strengths? If you look at our current strengths, I always think of research at Texas State is very applied. I mean, the tagline that has been used even before I got here is research with relevance. But I like to think of it, as truly living research that responds to the changing circumstances and opportunities that are present, and that is how we have to be. So if you look at where our dollars come from, so I'm going to start with, smart living. And this conference is the very embodiment of that, smart cities, the Materials Application Research Center, which Dr. Irwin runs, and I think she's the next speaker. She'll talk about that, so I won't steal her thunder, is all about smart materials and infrastructure research. Jesus just talked about that, the infrastructure research lab right here, our materials labs, our university transportation center. For the very first time, we have a regional transportation center, a tier 1 transportation center awarded by the US DOT, a $10 million grant given to Stacy Kulesa in civil engineering. And so very competitive and very rare. Again, significant amount of investment in anything related to materials and infrastructure. And that goes from everything from nanomaterials, we have amazing semiconductor fab capabilities, which you will see in the tour tomorrow, to construction materials. So the full gamut is right here at Texas State, and particularly construction and construction engineering, a new program, because the growth of infrastructure in this corridor here is phenomenal, and we have experts willing to address the needs of that. So pretty impressive group of researchers spread across the university. Safe living. We are the home of the Alert Center, which trains law enforcement for active shooter response training. And this is not just for Texas, but across the country. So this is a renowned center that is funded by the Department of Justice, $20 million a year for training law enforcement. We are actually in talks with the Department of Defense to see if we can use their expertise in training soldiers in the case of, let's see, I should get this right, green on blue attacks, which have occurred, in Texas too. So very important. The Texas School Safety Center, you must have heard of that because they set the school safety standards not only for Texas, but these standards are adopted across the country, even in New Jersey, where I came from. The Texas School Safety Center is renowned. Kathy Prather runs that. That is predominantly funded by the state of Texas. And again, does a lot for public safety. We are one of the few body farms in the country. Forensic anthropology is a huge thing out here, and very important in law enforcement. And again, we have funding from major federal agencies that deal with public safety in our area of expertise. Healthy living is, the work that we do in public health and life sciences. We have the Translational Research Health Center that does a lot of community-related health, just got HRSA funding to do mental health resources across Texas. We have the ZIF Center. I can never always say Ziphophorus properly, but they do work in melanoma research, cancer research. They're funded by CPRIT and the National Institutes of Health. Public health and public safety kind of go together, and we have a blend of faculty that kind of span both these areas. And of course, sustainable living. We have the Meadow Center for the Water and Environment that generates policy for the state of Texas to conserve water. And the Southwest is particularly a region where water conservation is very important. So Meadows is very, huge. You have people who do work in coastal remediation as a result of climate change. And of course, we are home to the Freeman Center, the Freeman Ranch, almost 4,000 acres of pristine hill country land, which is used for animal husbandry, and we are stewards of this environment out here, and a lot of research goes on there. We have the director of the Freeman Center, Chris Thomas, right here, so make sure you talk to him. But these four areas, smart living, safe living, healthy living, and sustainable living, is where our current research strengths are. But where are we going? So what is our ambition? Our ambition is to grow our research expenditures, almost get to $200 million. That's the goal. We want to be graduating 100 PhDs every year and have a thriving, I said 100 plus, but when I say 100, the president always wants 200. So, ambitious man. So that's where we want to be. But one of the amazing things that has happened in Texas, and I keep saying what a wonderful time to be here, is the budget surplus last year of what I think the budget surplus was close to $34 billion last year. The state of Texas had something called the National Research University Fund, where they had some $600 million in it. They added $3.5 billion from the surplus to create a $4 billion Texas University Fund. So the Texas University Fund is a permanent endowment meant for four institutions: Texas State University, Texas Tech University, University of North Texas, and University of Houston. This is to complement what is known as the Permanent University Fund. So many years ago, like I think close to 150 years ago, I think 1870 something, land in West Texas was donated to UT and Texas A&M. They gave, the citizens of Texas decided to do a constitutional amendment and gave land, and said the revenues from this land can be used to fund the universities, UT and A&M. And that was called the Permanent University Fund. I think the universities reluctantly accepted land that, I think there was one cow for 100 acres or something. It was not very valuable, that land, but, universities will take anything, right? We're poor. Fast forward to about 30 years, and guess what happened? This West Texas Permian Basin, so oil was discovered in that land. And so for the proceeds from those lands are permanently endowed to UT and A&M, those two universities. And that permanent university fund is now $37 billion, generating $6 million per day. So oil's going to go to over 100 a barrel, right, in the next few months. So wonderful things for those two universities. Sadly, Texas State University was not in the running in this. So the two major state institutions have this enormous fund to grow their research, but the rest of us don't have that. And Texas State this year is the highest applied to university in the state of Texas. We beat A&M in the number of applications. We had 43,000 applicants for about 7,500 to 8,000 slots. So as Jesus said, we look like the state of Texas. Our demographics looks like the state of Texas. And so, the legislators in their wisdom decided that, we deserve some money too. Of course, we can't get $37 billion, but we'll take $1 billion, which is what is dedicated for Texas State. So this $1 billion endowment is subject to a referendum by the citizens of Texas on the November ballot. So I'd like you to go, texasuniversityfund.com, or is it org? One of them, and I should know this before I speak up. But Texas University Fund, just Google it, and it'll take you to a website. As an employee in the state of Texas, I cannot tell you how to vote. This is Proposition 5. So Proposition 4 is, should we do property tax relief, right? And I presume most people will say yes to that. Proposition 5 is, should we rename the National University Fund the Texas University Fund and endow these universities permanently from an endowment on the budget surplus? No new taxes. So you've said yes to Prop 4, I'm certain. So Prop 5, I leave you to vote your conscience, but this is, yes, sir, .com, texasuniversityfund.com. If the citizens of Texas in their wisdom vote for this, this is going to be transformational for Texas State. $1 billion permanent endowment is going to be transformational. What are we going to use it on? We're going to use it on recruiting students, providing them scholarships, recruiting faculty, providing them startup funding. So, we want our students, the 96% of the students that come from Texas, we want the best students to stay in Texas for undergraduate, graduate education, become postdocs, stay here, spin out companies right here in Star Park, and pay taxes and give some money back to the mothership. So this is what major research universities do. So think carefully how you'd vote for Prop 5. It is going to be transformational for us. So Star Park, where we are, is expanding, and Harold Strong is our new executive director of Star Park. He has experience from UNT and Texas A&M, so he knows how this is done. And so right now we are pretty much close to doubling or tripling the space right here in a new building that will house a mixture of university research centers and more private industry tenants. We are building a solar farm in Miller Ranch, about 5 miles from here, where the outlet malls are, where we are going to be building a smart energy laboratory, and we are building a life sciences incubator on our Round Rock campus that is going to be the home of our life sciences enterprise. So the RFPs for all of these projects have come out. So if you can, the Texas State University system has them. So that's really our biggest goal, is to enlarge our infrastructure, expand the PhD programs because they will need more infrastructure. But we are on the hunt for recruiting faculty from across the country. We're happy to poach them from any institution to say, come to Texas. That potentially the citizens' vote is going to be a Texas University Fund that can help you thrive and succeed. Unlike other institutions that are cutting their programs across the country. I've heard of West Virginia and other places where funding situation is dire for public institutions. Texas is not that. The wisdom of the people of Texas is we have always invested in our public universities, and that will continue, and that is for the benefit of the state. So good times out here. I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.